That's for you lot who were taking the mickey out of me mercilessly yesterday for yawning at the beginning of the show. And I've had a little bit more banter and stick from YouTube as well. It hasn't gone unnoticed. Gordianos, our correspondent in Japan, by the way. I should say, shouldn't I, as I normally do when we start the show, hola, bon dia. And welcome to the Good Morning Portugal live stream, YouTube and podcast. And back to Japan and Gordianos, one of our really funny correspondents, who says, people, I think Carl has been drinking caipirinha in the morning, and that's the reason for all the yawns, because you caught me yawning. Mr. Munson, you can't say that you're losing your teeth and then try and promote your toothpaste brand. That's when we were making our own toothpaste. Maybe that's why my teeth are falling out. And he's just said, yes, it's just suicidal marketing. I hope your move goes smoothly, because as someone that has moved a lot, I know the stress of doing that, and I think we all do here, don't we, as people who've moved country as well. And he also adds to the vocabulary lesson that we got a little bit of slang from Katia Lima, beyond Lisbon's Katia Lima. Mutalao and mutalona has nothing to do with beautiful, but has more brute, unrefined, and strong, which has its place, of course. Slang for hot women that I don't encourage to use, and I don't even know if I should read this out, but I'm going to take the risk, is esboa como o milho, which is something to do with corn, isn't it? Or a boa zona, cultura, Kiboa, etc. If you work on a construction site, you might hear someone saying these things, but in other places you might expect a good slap in your face. So I'm glad he's warned us about that. Thank you, Gordianos. Your comments always amuse and educate in equal measure. Good morning to you, Pete. Thank you for your excellent photo. Yes, a wonderful view towards the coast, I believe, from Castanheira de Pera, supplied this morning by Peter Wilton Davis over there, the unofficial ambassador, of course, of Castanheira de Pera. And do please send your morning photos in, your Hola Bon Dia photos from around Portugal. Love featuring those. And Pete, acknowledging my little joke there, wakey, very funny. And I am still kind of mid-move. You would never know this, but I am in a new building. I mean, this is the beauty of green screen technology. So you've no idea that I've moved, apart from me being asleep when I started the show. And the brute strength that we mentioned before of what that's taken to move all our possessions. Isn't it amazing? You've always got more, haven't you, than you ever imagined? And you think, what is that? And what is that? And why have I got that? And more to the point, why has she got that? And why has she got so many of those? And when the hell are they going to get used whilst I'm breaking my back moving them? I think Claire, who's in the green room, might have something to say about that, the interpersonal relationship dynamics of moving. Let's go back to that comment from Pete. Boa como milho is a nice phrase, very countrified, sweet as corn. That is a lovely turn of phrase. And that's what we try and do here every day that we're broadcasting on Good Morning Portugal. Remember that one, it's beautiful. But it can also, as Gordiana says, get you a slap around the face. Bon dia, Carl, another cloudy start in Costa de Lavos, having a slow start after celebrating Claire's birthday late into the night. It's a Clair fest today, because we've got Claire Bendle with us, who's talking about her fantastic 50s project that she's launched after we've done a bit of news and weather. After we've done the gloom and doom, we'll come back for some light relief from Claire to cheer us all up. But yes, having a slow start. I think we're all having a slow start at the moment. It's so hot at the moment. Various things going on for people. So nice and easy does it. Okay, calma, tranquilo. Slow start after celebrating Claire's birthday late into the night, Claire and Steve. Hope you had a super time, Claire and Steve, there in Costa de Lavos, celebrating a new part of the country, a new part of the world. What was it like? Happy birthday. We started doing birthday wishes here, haven't we? So happy birthday today. Parabéns to Rod Ski, an occasional viewer of the show, who's also promised to do some construction clinic sort of stuff for expats and explorers here. And I think the big subject people want him to tackle is how to manage damp in your Portuguese home. And he knows a lot about these sorts of things. So hopefully we'll get Rod, but not today, because he's celebrating his birthday. Day off for you, Rod. Hope you're having a good one. Hola, bon dia. Only 30 minutes for me this morning. Then a ride on a steam train, Grandson's Tree. How lovely. Do love a steam train. And the Vuga, is it the Vuga line in northern Portugal? It's a steam treat as well. There's another possible Good Morning Portugal outing and gathering and get together. So have a super day with your grandson Paul as well, and Ana Lucia. I'm surprised you haven't commented about the sweet as corn, boa con milho phrase there, Ana Lucia. Okay, so a little bit of news and weather before we talk to Clair Bendle in just a moment. Like I said, high temperatures persisting, although it's looking like it's cooling again. It's up and down like the weather, basically. But Lisbon, a high of 30 in the capital today, and temperatures just under the 30 mark for the rest of the week. Our forecast up in Porto, 25 to look forward to today, 19 currently, and staying around the mid-20s for the next week or so. Coimbra, still hot around here, although the forecast has cooled somewhat. And we're looking at 32 today as the high, and in this part of central Portugal, 29 for the weekend, and then some 30-degree action next week again. And in Faro, the temperatures are rising down there, well into the 30s. I think that's beginning to happen for Faro for next week, but certainly a high of 31 today and 33 tomorrow. Some news that I wanted to bring your way. I think I've lost one of my news items this morning, but that doesn't matter. The most important thing is to be talking to Clair Bendle in just a moment. But bon dia, Carl, you are unsharp today. Thank you, Jeannie. I'm sure that's... People are very frank and honest with me, aren't they, on this show? You are unsharp today. But Clair will be able to sort that out. She will put a pep in my step. Pep in your step. You can have that one, Clair. And okay, a bon dia from Owen as well, who introduced me to Clair. Fantastic to see you here this morning. So how am I unsharp? Am I blurry in focus, or am I blurry in personality this morning? Jeannie, good morning to you in Belgium. What a fantastic international community we have as well. So this article, just want to share with you and remind you of the importance of going to your local market. This is the Ribeira market, which you've probably been to. If you've been to Lisbon and you've been to Time Out Market, it's the superb market next door, the Mercado da Ribeira. And the horrible news is, with the tourists gone, Mercado da Ribeira ponders an uncertain future. And I'll just read you a little bit of this, but the main point is, like, come on. Easy on the little guys, easy on the continent. They're going to be fine. I think they're going to survive this, and they have survived it very well. On toilet paper sales alone, I suspect. I'm looking at Lidl's, and I think the new mutation, somebody said to me, of the coronavirus may well be the Renova virus, because I see they're piling up the toilet paper again, anticipating a second wave. Those rascals at Lidl. But yeah, on a more serious note, look at that beautiful. Sorry, you can't do that on the podcast, but I'll explain and describe to you in words the beauty of the Mercado da Ribeira in the capital city. It is one of the finest markets in the world, I would say, next door to the fabulous Time Out Market, which is obviously, a real magnet for tourists. But you go next door to that and you see a traditional Portuguese market. And this is sad news that it's under threat because it's not being supported by tourists, which brings us back to like the unholy economic scenario we might be facing. And what we can do about it, as more as meerkats seeing what's happening rather than ostriches sticking our heads in the ground. And so some Portuguese for you. O freguesa hoje temos a bela sardinha. From afar, the fishmonger calls me to see her beautiful sardine. The silvers, I think they're also known as, aren't they? And it is indeed a thing of beauty. This fish that the Portuguese love, especially in the summer when they're at their best, fat and full of flavour. And this is a piece from just a week ago or so by Cilia Pedroso. Maria Alice has sardines, but also an incredible array of fresh fish from the waters south and north of Lisbon. Cuttlefish, octopus, horse mackerel, carvalho, and mackerel, as well as the prized ocean sea bass, sea bream, and red snapper. What a delight for people who enjoy fish. Her friendly face is a reminder of how welcoming Mercado da Ribeira has been for generations of sellers and customers. Just as stalls are passed down from parents to children, so too is the habit of shopping there. The market is the oldest in Lisbon, still in operation, and also the biggest, home to both retail and wholesale markets over the years. Its origins date back to 1771, but the actual building is from 1822. It's designed by the engineer Frederico Rezano Garcia, whose vision also shaped Avenida de Liberdad, the Campo de Oric neighborhood, and Avenida 24 de Julio along the riverfront. Market was partially destroyed by fire in 1893 and in 1902. Didn't learn a lesson there, did they? Work began on enlarging the structure to better serve the city. Oh, sorry. In 1902, work began on enlarging the structure. In 1930, as Lisbon began to be built up, the tower at the market's main entrance was replaced by a dome with a clock above it. Lisboetas, that's what we call people from Lisbon. Lisboetas used to call it the Mesquita do Nabo, the Turnip Mosque, to define the new architectural feature. In 1980, the market slaughterhouse was closed. Wow, that would have been something to behold, wouldn't it? And in 2000, one of the biggest changes occurred. The wholesale market moved from Ribeira to the north of Lisbon. Gone with the busy early mornings, and the business from nearby cafes slowed down to a trickle. Okay, so Time Out Market obviously gave it a shot in the arm, and here are some more lovely pictures. But I think we need to be mindful of the fact that this market and markets all over Portugal really do need our support now, because I think we've all got good intentions, haven't we? Yeah, I'll definitely shop local. I will go to the local market, etc. But I think now's the time to really, get on board with that and support your local shops. Because if you don't use it, you'll lose it, I think, at the moment. And apparently I've got a blurry image, so that's all right. I'm okay, but it's just my image that's a bit blurry this morning. Morning, you're looking fuzzy. It's a fuzzy felt production of Carl Munson. Merchandise available in the shop, but a fuzzy felt version of me. It's the new Wi-Fi. I'm still waiting for my Wi-Fi to be installed. So I think rather than it sort of not bringing anything to you by Facebook, it's just throttling the bandwidth so that it can be happening at all. So that's why I'll be a bit fuzzy this morning. But it is actually how I feel too. Hola, bon dia. Listen to you every day in the UK. Just had 2 weeks traveling Portugal and didn't listen in once. Shame on you, Jeff. So sorry, not at all. You're actually doing the real thing. Much more important. Listening now. Been to Tavira. Oh, fantastic. Let's have a look at Jeff's little itinerary here. Been to Tavira, Vila Nova de Milfonges, Alcoton, San Seraved, Marcis, and finished in El Rompido. What a great name that is, El Rompido, Spain. Got NIF numbers and now looking for property and land. Mission accomplished by the sound of it, Jeff. Good work, sir. Flying back to Blighty tonight. Hopefully back very soon. I hope so too. Excellent. Morning from the furnace. That would be Alpha Ezra. How's the new place? Yeah, pretty warm here too, but I'm just looking out of the window and I see a rolling hill, a valley with a rolling hillside. If I were able to lean further a little more, I would see a vineyard, Gary. Look, it's blurry and snowy above me now. It's lovely. Really enjoying the new place. And as you as said to me, extolling the virtues of getting up early and going for a walk, I'm going to be doing that here. It is a very nice setting. And I can even have a dip in the pool as well. Fantastic. So really good where we are. Thank you for asking. Ferry Westphal, the last time I said, I've been in touch with Ferry this morning already, and I've said to him, and he never fails to put a smile on my face. The last time my receipt in the Intermarché was so long that I no longer had to buy toilet paper. Sometimes it's like that, isn't it? With all the offers they give you as well. And maybe that's all those offers are good for, Ferry. Okay. And oh no, yesterday we did that really, really long show with all the wonderful things. It was like reason 1,272 to love Portugal, and it became comical, didn't it? All the fantastic things that Portugal is known and is not known for, all the things that we should be pleased about to be in Portugal. We've got another one today. I can't believe it. Well, I can believe it. Just finally on this then, before we go to Claire. The Wine Republic Portugal has published this. Here's another reason to love Portugal. The world's biggest wine lovers are here. The research uses data, or data, as Donald would say, about the total amount of wine consumed around the world combined with the population of each country. And guess who is there in number one position, pole position? I was going to make an alliteration which wouldn't have been appropriate at this time of the morning, but you get the gist. The people who like the booze, or the wine certainly, topping the charts, Portugal. Look at this, 71.5 bottles per person per year. And I don't know if they factor the population, that involves children as well. So that means the adult population are going to be drinking even more than that. I mean, that's I don't know, it's good. That's over one bottle a week. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound a massive amount in many ways, but it's a lot more than Chile or Romania. It's double Romania's average. Amazing. And UK, just where I'm from, just coming in at a mere 24.7, where I thought people drank a lot more, to be honest with you. But there you go, another reason to see Portugal as the best in its class yet again. The world's biggest wine lovers here. Okay, enough already. Let's say a good morning to Clair Bendle. Good morning to you, Claire. How are you doing?
Olá, bom dia.
Oh, very good. Very, very good indeed. Tudo bem?
Sim. Tá
Oh,
bom?
excellent. And really, you should be, because you're in the business of helping people feel fit, well, and vital, aren't you? And you're looking that way
I am.
yourself, may I say? Radiant this morning, making me look
Thank
proper
you.
pasty. and hopefully you can give me a few tips on maybe some hair and make. Well, not much can be done about the hair, but maybe about the makeup. You're involved in a fabulous new project. It's Fantastic 50s on YouTube, which I recommend people subscribe to. Tell us more about it and why it happened.
Okay. So at Christmas time, you overindulge. And by January, mid-January, I was feeling huge. I'd put on a couple of stone the past year. And I thought, well, my husband had to go to England for 3 weeks to sort out our rental property. He had to decorate it from top to bottom for new tenants. And I thought, while he's away, this is my chance to get myself fitter, and I don't have to cater to him and give him breakfast and stuff like that, even though he makes his breakfast. So I researched intermittent fasting.
Okay.
And I found that to be amazingly good, science-based. There have been lots of studies about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought I'll start that. So I just missed out breakfast. And I've been doing that for the past 6 months, and I've lost about 33 pounds. So
good heavens,
it's been wonderful. And I'm 52 this year. 52.
Never. Wow. Okay. And that's the positioning you created, right? Is that you wanted to angle this towards ladies of that age, of a particular age?
Ladies of my age, yeah, who are in their 50s and they want to feel fantastic, look good, feel great, and my friend Karen Carter Pearson, she introduced me because I'm a Libran. Now, your wife does astrology.
She's an astrologer, that's right. Yeah. Mrs. M is an astrologer, yeah.
So she'll know all about my star sign. We are renowned for being lazy. And I admit that. I can be terribly lazy. I can just sit on a couch, read a book for a couple of hours. And I wanted exercise that was good for me, but didn't take an hour.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to be pounding away for an hour, because as you get older, your joints are a bit fragile, more fragile.
Tell me about it.
And aches and
amazing.
pains. So she introduced me to XBX, which is the Canadian Air Force workout. It was developed in the late 1950s, but it was called what was it called? Let me just look at my notes.
It's funny.
And it is for men. It was for men. Yep. So it's 5XB. And that means 5 basic exercises. 5BX, 5 basic exercises. And then they did a one for women called XBX, which is 10 basic exercises, Roman numerals, X.
Okay.
So I started doing that. And I looked on YouTube and I saw a couple of videos, and I'm sorry to say, I don't mean to disparage anyone, that they just weren't all that good. One was in a living room, and the other one was like on a patio outside, beautiful setting, but there was a baby crawling along and a dog looking at the woman, and I thought, I think I can do better.
Yeah.
So I got my wonderful friend Karen, and she filmed me, and we went to Trezio. Have you been to Trezio?
No, I haven't. No, because this is what you do, isn't it? You go to really cool locations to make these videos, don't you?
Well, yeah, it was her suggestion. She's much cooler than me, so she suggested Trezio because it's just so beautiful. And then we went and we did 4 levels there in the one day. We had a picnic and went kayak fishing as well.
Oh my God, that sounds like a fitness regime I could do. Yeah, that sounds amazing.
There was beer in the cool box, believe me.
Cool. Well, this is interesting because I was at my friend Mike's house. He's come on here sometimes talking about his social network Outnet, and I was looking at his library, and he had the book of the. I said, "What's this?" I don't have him down as like a fitness guy, but he had the Canadian Air Force Fitness Handbook, and it's a thing, isn't it? It's definitely a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's huge. And I've had quite a few comments telling me that they're so glad I made these videos, these exercise videos, so they can follow along instead of looking at a leaflet and not understanding what to do. And they do it in real time. And we're progressing through the levels. We've made 8 so far, and we're on to 9, 10, 11, 12 next one. And we're thinking we might go to Tomar.
Oh,
yeah,
yes. Good plan.
So I tell people I've made a video about exactly what I eat in a day to lose weight. It's 1,500 calories or less, and it's intermittent fasting, which is the 16-8 diet. Now, there's been huge studies about this. The people have, you've heard of Okinawa, Japan?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So they intermittent fast. They have lower blood sugar. They have longevity, unbelievable longevity. So you can help your life by fasting, and it repairs DNA. It increases lifespan. It lowers blood sugar. It lessens inflammation, which leads to health problems. It helps health problems, asthma, arthritis, reduces free radicals. They're the bad cells in your body. It eliminates them, gets rid of them. Because eating all your food in an 8-hour period and resting for the other 16 hours, your digestion system can rest and repair your DNA. It's incredible.
Sounds amazing. And I really like the cut of your jib there, because you're a self-confessed lazy person. And actually, I think a lot of us are like that, if we're honest. And I mean, there are those annoying people, aren't there, who are really good at, going to the gym and all that sort of stuff. But let's not talk about them. Let's talk about the rest of us. And the idea of not doing anything that's really good for you, i.e. missing out on the first meal of the day, which I've done today quite by accident, seems like a really good strategy. That's not difficult, is it?
No, I eat about 10:30, 11, and then I'll sort of have an apple and some cheese and crackers. And I could maybe have an almond milk smoothie, because I found that almond milk is lower in calories than cow's milk, and it's much better for you. A banana and almond milk smoothie. And at lunchtime, I can have a salad or a soup. Usually in the winter, it was soup. And then at night time, and then I can have an afternoon snack of chocolate. Oh my God, how I love chocolate.
That's important.
What I can say is, you don't eliminate anything. It's not no carbs. It's not no meat. It's not, you can't eliminate anything. You can eat everything as long as you stick to your 8 hours eating and 1,500 calories. I mean, I've eaten burgers, I've drunk beer, wine, liqueurs. I've had everything over this past 6 months.
We like the sound of this a lot. And
I've seen your video. Meringue pie for lunch. So.
Oh, stop it now! You're putting ideas in our heads. Well, I had a look at your videos yesterday, and I'd really like your approach, because you're not about giving yourself a hard time, are you? You're about setting positive goals, and because if it's not fun, you're not going to keep doing it, are you?
No, absolutely. These exercises take less than 12 minutes a day.
That sounds even better.
I mean, you don't want to be slogging away for 30 minutes, 1 hour, because you'll just get bored.
Yes.
So 12 minutes a day.
Unless, of course, you are one of those annoying people we were talking about earlier on. So we've got your YouTube channel on there. Come on, guys, get behind Claire here, and because it's fantastic 50s. You're into your 50s of subscribers, and it's very new, so it's kind of flying along. And for fabulous women 50 plus, to help you look good and feel great. And I have to say, Claire, I was thinking 50 plus. I was thinking, oh God, that's old. And then I remembered I'm 50 plus. Do you have that as well? It's like you kind of forget like what age you are.
I feel like I'm in my 30s. This is the actual slimmest and fittest I've been for the past 20 years.
Yeah. And presumably
Just
when
by
you're
missing breakfast and exercising 12 minutes a day. And I don't exercise at the weekends now. I have that off.
good
But I
for
also
you.
walk my dog. I also walk my dog Millie 30 minutes every day. But it's not a fast walk. I have a leisurely stroll around my beautiful village in Portugal.
Yeah. Oh, we've got to talk about your village actually, and where you ended up in Portugal. But yeah, I really like how you're approaching this whole thing. It's, the emphasis is on not giving yourself a hard time and not suffering, and therefore
No,
it's much more likely to persist, isn't it? And for the discipline to be set. Yeah, absolutely. So this village you speak of, where did you end up in Portugal, and why?
Well, so the reason we moved to Portugal, we'd been thinking about it for a while, my husband and I. We were a bit disillusioned about England and where it was going, and the wages weren't going up and the prices were getting higher. I mean, the council tax we paid on our old house, we now pay that for water, gas, electricity, wood, council tax here. All that is encompassed in that one bill in England.
Yeah.
What can I say? It's rip off Britain. Even though I was born there, it's rip off Britain. They love to rip them off.
Yeah. So you're not unhappy to be Blighty, and so how did you where did you choose, and how did you choose being in Portugal?
So my husband, unfortunately, 2017 was diagnosed 5 days before Christmas with a brain tumor.
Oh no.
That was completely shocking. Out the blue, he'd been having headaches for a while and a loss of balance. Saw 3 doctors, and the 3rd doctor said, we'll give you a neurology test, and sent him for an MRI, a CAT scan. And it came back that day that he had a brain tumor. So they sent us to the RVI, the wonderful RVI in Newcastle, and they operated the next day. They were amazing. And luckily for him, the brain tumor was operable, non-cancerous, and they shaved his brain and got rid of a little bit of his brain. He's okay.
Yeah,
He's a lot better than he was 3 years ago. And so we decided that he couldn't work anymore. He just couldn't physically work an 8-hour day as he had been doing for the past 35 years. So we thought, where can we go that's nice, that's cheaper to live than England? And we settled on Portugal. I had never been. My husband had been to Albufeira. I'd never been. But I researched it for like 7-8 months, and I saw that lots of people were doing it. They were just heading on out to Portugal. So I thought, oh, we'll try that. So we bought a caravan. We put the dogs in the boot, my daughter Jessica in the back of the car, and set off on the channel and headed down through France, Spain, into Portugal. And a week after we got here, we found this house. 1 week.
Amazing. What a brilliant journey.
It was wonderful.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of a feeling that's to do with your sort of positive approach to life.
I'm very positive. My husband is like, are you so positive?
Yes, stop it. And I wanted to ask you when you took advantage of him being away and you embarked on this new fitness approach. Yeah. Did he recognize you at the airport when you went to pick him up?
He did. It was only 3 weeks away. But
okay.
He was pleased with the results. And he can't believe how far I've come and how wonderful I look. And he praises me all the time. And he's very proud.
I can imagine. Yeah, 30 plus pounds, lost is very significant, isn't it?
Okay, so 2 stone.
Yeah. I mean, that is amazing, and especially given the lack of suffering that is the approach you take, which is really wonderful. But in moderation and balance.
Last night.
Oh, fantastic! We're loving this. It should be a blog as well with your menu, I think. Just going back to markets, because we're talking about food. Local fruit and fish market has been our lifeline here in Algiers. All fresh, organic, and local produce, fabulous flavors and selection, and open 6 days a week. Absolutely wonderful. So yes, get to your local market, folks. It's so convenient. Lidl will brainwash us into their convenience and habit. but I think we should balance that, if not completely replace it as much as possible, with local food, because it's so good here in Portugal as well. Stephen Claire asking for your site link. That is in the comments there somewhere, because Karen's been busy, I see, and has very kindly put up the YouTube channel. She's brilliant, isn't she? Everyone needs a Karen, I think. And
fabulous. She's fantastic.
I can see that. A Facebook group is called Fantastic 50s. I rushed to get my XBX and walk done this morning. Finished just in time to watch Claire on the show. I'm not in my 50s yet, but follow the exercises, and Claire's diet tips is great and works for everyone. Very good point there, Karen. You don't have to be over 50, do you? And you don't have to be a woman, presumably, to take part in this.
No, the XBX actually starts at 7 years old and goes up to 50, 51, but you can do it beyond your 50s. I'm sure I'll be doing the XBX and the fasting for the rest of my life, because it's made such a difference.
Yeah. And fasting, it's such an interesting idea, isn't it? Because it does suggest sort of missing out. But how has that been for you? Do you get the sort of rumbly belly or anything like that? Or is your body just used to it now?
It's a misconception that breakfast, it was invented by Mr. Kellogg.
Yeah, I can imagine.
He brought breakfast in his health magazine. I've actually got the quote. It says, his dietitian, Leah Francis Cooper, wrote, "In many ways, breakfast is the most important meal of the day," as he was selling his Kellogg's cornflakes. Marketing. It's just about marketing. Do you know that the ancient Greeks, they didn't eat till lunchtime and again in the evening?
Amazing. It never did them any harm.
No, and the medieval times, they rose at sunset, went out to work, then had a break in the fields at 11 and ate their breakfast at 11. So they did intermittent fasting, and you didn't get all the cancers, you didn't get all the diseases that we do have now.
And you actually, in many ways, if you think about it, it's a bit of a disadvantage, isn't it? It's just filling your belly up and giving your body a really load of hard work to do first thing in the morning. Yeah, really weird. I've got to say, I can't think of a better way of putting this, and forgive my French, but I think Kellogg was a funny bugger, wasn't he? I mean, when you look into his background, this is a victory of marketing, because those cornflakes, as nice as, you can get into the habit of that. And I just like the next man, I guess, I don't mind cornflakes every now and then, with some nice cold plant milk and some sugar on. But that is actually a nutritional disaster, isn't it? Like flattened bits of GMO corn. And if you have cow's milk with it, GMO. And then like cow's milk on it, which I don't think is the best milk for us, and then white sugar on it, which is a disaster. So it's complete brainwashing and marketing, as you quite rightly point out.
Absolutely. We need to break free of the breakfast habit.
Yes.
And you'll save money. Imagine.
So you could buy more chocolate and wine with the money you save. Okay, so hello, Anu from New Delhi. We're doing amazingly. We're in France, Belgium, and India this morning, as well as Portugal, of course. Fantastic. Great to hear from you, Anu. And look, Claire's joined. You've got another Claire in your group now. She's just joined the Fantastic 50s Facebook group. That's good. And Owen, who introduced us, both Claire and Mark helped me in a time of need. Lovely family. Can't wait to cook for them again. But not breakfast, Owen.
No. He does amazing food. He stopped with us for a few weeks, and his food is fantastic.
I've tried it. I've stayed at Owen's place as well, and he's very gifted, isn't he? In the kitchen,
he's very talented.
At dab hand, he is, and he can, he does
it out of love.
Yeah, that's right. That's his secret, isn't it? I think it's not a secret. It's obvious. And he rolls with the local ingredients as well, doesn't he? Whatever there is available, that's what he works with. To me, that's a good chef. Plus, of course, the love in there. So, Claire, anything you want to leave us with? I mean, I guess the obvious question is like how to get started. What's a little taster of, how to get involved and start implementing this in people's lives if they want to?
Yes. Well, just before, I need to mention my wonderful friend, Karen Carter-Pearson, who does all my videos. Hopefully, we're looking at a little river beach that we might go to. We're going to have a recce and have a drink. And we might go to Tomar. Now, I understand that you did some filming in Tomar.
Oh, I never miss an opportunity, Claire. I'm always bothering people with my live streams. It was just that I was in Tamar last weekend, and
Okay.
I was shocked actually. I mean, the obvious reason why there was no one in the square in Tamar last weekend because it was 40 degrees, and I'm an idiot. But it was really quiet as well. And I was
Well,
going to
that's
ask
where
you
we
that
might film.
in the square.
Yeah.
Perfect. I got on the checkerboard on the lovely
On the
calçadas. Yeah,
checkerboard
beautiful,
floor,
beautiful.
yes.
Yes, absolutely.
So, so I've got to say thank you to Karen, and also mention her husband he's an artisan knife maker. He's called
cool.
Branco Customs, and I hope she's put a link in your comments to him. He makes knives from just nothing, and he's got a YouTube channel, and he shows you how he makes them, and they are stunning. We commissioned one for our best friends who's a chef in the UK, and he got it, and he said it's the best knife in his 40-year career that he's ever had.
Yeah, and having it made for you is beautiful, isn't it?
Oh,
It's like
being engraved with 30 years. That's how long they've been married. So
kid on. That's like being a knight of the round table, having your own. It's the closest you're going to get to having a sword in this day and age, isn't it? A ceremonial sword.
as well, I'm sure, if you ask him.
Excellent. Well, I'll maybe suggest that to Mrs. M as my Christmas present this year. We've also had Lena saying, I'm inspired too. We'll join the Facebook group. Good morning to you,
Thank
Lena.
You, Lena.
From
That's
the
wonderful.
south of Portugal. Yeah, so how to get started then, Claire? Obviously subscribe to your channel, get in the group.
So if you go to my YouTube channel, there is the first XBX workout, and it's sort of an instructional workout. And I talk through all the exercises. They must be done correctly, so not to injure yourself. And then you can move on to level 1, and you can go to the Fit for 50 website. That gives you the chart that tells you what age you're at and what level you should be working towards.
Okay.
And how many days to do each level? Because at my age, it was do each level for 8 days and then move on to the next one.
All right, fantastic, easy peasy then. And giving breakfast to Miss is fairly straightforward as well, isn't it? And I think we've all done that from time to time, and having this sort of scientific backup, and obviously you're the evidence in front of everyone's eyes there, the product of the process. I think it sounds like it's got to be given a go. So thanks so much. Cheers, Owen, for introducing me to Claire. I had a lovely time this morning chatting to you. Look, another one. Look, Jeannie's joined. Not at all. Anytime, you must come back. Jeannie says that I will try, Claire. I just joined the FB group as well. So that's great.
Thank you, Jeannie. You're most welcome.
Yeah, brilliant. And so other ideas, just finally, Tamar Market Square, where else could we think of? I mean, I'm sure these guys here will make some suggestions to you as well about where to
if they know anywhere beautiful, that would be awesome.
My mind's racing and thinking about where you could make a video. Thank you, Claire. It's a pleasure to be your friend and have met you. Branco Customs is the Facebook page for my wonderful husband's and I. We'll drop a link to his YouTube channel as well. Fantastic, Karen. Thanks for doing that. Yeah, are you gonna go to the capital at some point to make a video?
Lisbon.
Yeah.
Where could I do that? Like
well,
on
I'm
the
thinking.
Beach?
Yeah, I mean, Fonte de Telha Beach would be fantastic, or Costa de Caparica. I mean, Praça da Comercial would be another place to do it. And I just get the feeling that people are quite cool about that. I get the feeling where we're from. Where we're from in the UK, if you start doing something, you have to have a license and you have to pay.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you need a license?
I'm really not sure, but I suspect people will be very supportive, friendly, and welcoming, as we tend to find right wherever we go in Portugal.
Oh, we have got fantastic Portugal friends and fantastic English friends here. It's been the best move of our life, and we grow. Also, my husband grows lots of things organic in our garden. He makes his own wine. I make liqueurs from aguardente, and we're just so blessed.
Yes, absolutely. Well, what a lovely note to end on there. I could talk to you much more, but I've got to move house. So let's talk again. Thank you so much. Let's talk again another time.
Thank you
wish you a very good day. Look, here's a final idea: overlooking Nazaré with the massive surf waves behind you. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Nazaré or San Martino de Porto Beach would be lovely as well.
That's a good one, Owen. Thank you.
And could you mention again, Jean, people are keeping us here, Claire, where is it you live again in Portugal?
We live in a tiny little village just outside called Pampilhão, but it's near Sanash de Bom Jardim, which is near Seta.
Seta, okay.
So in central, yeah.
Absolutely wonderful. Central Portugal. Shout out to everyone in Central Portugal. My favourite part of Portugal.
Thank you.
Take care, Claire. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow, everybody, for a bit of phone-in Friday action.
Obrigada.
Yes, te logo, até já, até amanhã. And ciao, ciao for now.